like to welcome you to another interesting episode once again. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers and listeners, I'd like to thank you for listening and watching this program, the Daily Positive Living Principle Program, with your regular anchor, Dr. Daniel Otto. Today we are entering into another set of the 14 M's of information. In our last episode, I told us that there are 14 types of information that you need to succeed in this world. And your knowledge of these 14 M's will take you to your desired destination. Not all informations are relevant to your destiny. There are specific information that you need, and so we are outlining them one by one. All you need are these 14. I've given you 7 M's in the last episode. You can consult that so that you can have a background for this second episode. In this episode, I'll be unfolding the next set of the 7 M's to make it 14 M's. What defines your destiny generally are based on the chances that you take. Hear me. The choices that you make, the people that you meet, the books that you read, the faith that you have, the mentality that you have. Let me go over it again. Your destiny is determined by the chances that you take, the choices that you make, the people that you meet on a daily basis, your association, the books that you read, things around you, the crowds that are close to you, the faith that you have, and your mentality. Those are what makes your determines your destiny. And do you know all these are determined by information? All these things that determines your destiny survives of information. That is why this information is very important, very crucial for your destiny. And I told you before that you need them for you to succeed in this world. So what are these 7 sets of information that you need? Number 8, which is number 1 in this episode, is the knowledge about your mentality. What do I mean by your mentality? Your mentality is your mental makeup. It is your thinking pattern. It is your thought process. The interaction between your mind and your brain to engage in relevant analysis so you can come out with a solution and a plan for your future. That is mentality. What you ponder on, what you think on regularly, it's what makes it what is your mentality. It is what determines your mentality. Remember, you are what you think. Your thinking is like a magnet that draws you towards where you are going. What you think about regularly becomes you. And that is why every adventure, every attitude springs forth from the thought process. That is why your thought is very, very important. It's the reason why you are who you are. In fact, the progression, the thought cycle starts from your thinking to your action, to your behavior, to your habit, to your lifestyle and your character. That is the flow. So every attitude is orchestrated by thought process. When people do things, it is not mechanical. It starts from the thought. Some people commit sin, commit that, and they say, it's the devil. No, it starts from the thought process. If the devil wants to hook you, it starts from your mentality, your thought process. What you think about is what you do. So if you think about evil will be full of your life. And that is why you cannot stop some people from committing sin, from committing suicide, from killing people. If you want to stop the action, stop the thought process. That's what we're talking about. So your mentality is very, very key. And that is what determines you. The knowledge of about what you think about. That is why you should fashion your life into thinking about good things, things about your future, about your profession, your career, about your creator that can move you to your next level. So watch out of what you think about. Is very important on a daily basis. Brothers, ladies and gentlemen, be careful about what you think about. Your mentality is what determines your destiny. Even God, when he wants to judge you, he will judge you by what you think about, because that eventually determines what makes you. What does not cross your mind does not cross your life. So anything that happens to your life starts from the inside, your thought process, because your environment, what happens inside you is more important than what happens around you. And what happens inside you is based on your thought process. That is why the knowledge about your mentality is very key. Watch out for what you think about on a daily basis. If you want to be pure, think about pure things. That is what we are talking about, because it determines what you are made up of. So the knowledge about your mentality is very, very key. That's one of the knowledge. Number 9 of the M's of what we are talking about is the knowledge about your masses. The masses talks about your target audience. Every one of us who are delivering products. So who are your target audience? Who are you supposed to meet? Everybody is sent to a segment of population. Every one of us, not a single individual in this world is meant to capture the whole world. Every one of us is sent to segments. So what kind of masses are you sent to? What kind of target audience are you sent to? Whatever you are delivering, your product that you are selling, what kind of people are you sent to? Is it the lower class, the middle class, or the upper class? Or it cut across the whole segment? Is it the local community, or the subnational community, or the national community, or the international community? Are you sent to the global world? These are the things that determines you, that determines your destiny. So your target audience, your masses is very, very important. Are you reaching the whole world? Is that your intention? That is what you need. The knowledge about who you are dealing with is very important. The knowledge about the person, the people, the masses you are dealing with will help you to reach them. This is what we are talking about. If you don't know the people that you are talking to and how you need to approach them, at the end of the day, you will not be able to reach the people. If you are sent to a local community, their behavior, their culture, their norms needs to be known. So the knowledge about those masses are very, very important. You can't go to a place or a community without understanding what those people, what they like, what are their mission, what is their culture, what are their norms, what do they like. Those things are very, very important. If not, you will not be able to mingle with them. These are the things we talk about masses. So, ladies and gentlemen, anywhere you are delivering your product, anywhere in the world, the knowledge of your audience is very, very important. What do they like? How will you package your product so that it can suit them? These are the things we are talking about. The knowledge of your masses is very, very, very key. These are the things. What are the other M's? The knowledge of your market and your marketing. Everyone is marketing himself. Everybody in this world, we are in for a marketing business. Marketing your product, marketing your value, marketing whatsoever you carry. You need to offload. We are in this world for an offloading business. So every one of us needs to offload. But that determines your marketing, and then your market strategies are very, very important. So which market are you attracting, and what are your marketing strategies? What prices are you selling your product? Who are your customers? How are you going to satisfy your customers? All these things are marketing strategies that you need to put in place. These are very, very important. So the knowledge of your marketing. Some people, when they want to sell their product, they believe in selling in quantity. That is marketing ideas. When they sell in quantity to so many people, even if at a lower price, they won't mind, and they'll be able to make impact. But some people, they hide their price and they sell to few people. That is another strategy. Some people will sell and they won't sell again for 1 or 2 more weeks, depending on your market strategies. But people that are gurus in marketing, they believe in selling in quantities, even if it's at a lower price. These are things you need to know about market. What kind of, which of the market are you talking about? Is it a local community market or an international market? And what are your strategies? Your price is very important. Your product, how you package your product. Everything in this world is about packaging. The difference between Guguru and popcorn is packaging. So packaging is very, very important. If you see people package themselves, is when you open the product that you know. So packaging is a serious business. So it increases your price. It affects your rate of sale. So these are things we must be very cautious about so that we can be able to affect our destiny. What other knowledge are we talking about? The knowledge of your mentor. What are we talking about? Mentor. Your mentor is your coach. Your mentor is your role model. Who you look up to. If there is nobody that you look up to in this world to market, to focus on and learn from, it will be very difficult for you to achieve. Everything you need in this world is already packaged into somebody. If you want to move forward, you will need another person to move forward. Nothing is new in this world. The prayers you are praying now is already an answered prayer in somebody else. What you are looking for has already been a possibility in somebody. So you need that person to be able to achieve fast. So a mentorless generation is a futureless generation. If you want to move forward, you need to look up to a role model who will coach you. That is why every football team have a coach. In fact, the mentors are even more involving than a coach. A coach will coach you and may not even be playing with you, but a mentor even goes into a process of even playing with you, going further so that you can achieve. That is what we mean by a mentor. It's just like a teacher and a teachee, a mentor and a mentee. So a supervisor and a supervisee. Every one of us needs a supervisor, a mentor, somebody that will coach us. That is what will make your journey, cut short your journey. A mentor will pass through a position and tells you that don't pass through that situation again because of the experience he has gotten. A mentor can shorten your journey in this world so you will not go through all the hurdles and the challenges that can even take your life in the process. So when you have a mentor, your journey is shortened. So the knowledge of your mentor is very, very key. Those are skillful and those that have expertise in various areas, so they can take you out of your condition and make your journey to be short. In every profession, you have people of expertise, you have people of skill. Whether in medicine, you have people. In law, you have skillful people. In gospel, there are skillful people. So if you are in any of these professions, you look for those people that are of skill, that have gone before you. Because for you to further, you need a father to have a feather so you can further. This is very, very important. So if you want to develop wings, fathers are very, very important. Mentors are very, very important. They will provide feather for you so that you can further in your future. These are very, very key. So mentors will help to make things easy. So look for a mentor. If you don't have one, this is a good opportunity because they make things easy for you in life. The knowledge of your mentor is very, very key. What of your ministry? Every one of us has a ministry. A ministry is your core area which you need to maximize. So you can have ministries in ministries. So every one of us have an assignment. That your assignment is a core thing that makes it in a ministry. It's what you are supposed to be doing. So that ministry that you need to deliver, that knowledge is very, very important. In fact, today the reason why people cut off from people do that is because of doctrine. Doctrines are what make a ministry. So what doctrine is in your ministry? So a ministry is backed up with a doctrine. We have so many churches, so many organizations today based on doctrines. When somebody shifts in doctrine, he has a ministry and call it this ministry. That is what we are talking about. So the knowledge of that ministry, the knowledge of what makes it your ministry, the doctrine behind that ministry is very, very key. These are the things that you need knowledge of. The knowledge of these things will make you to be able to excel in your area. What other M's are we talking about? Just about the 11th M now, which or the 10th M, which is the knowledge of your marriage, is very, very important. That is another M which you need to watch out of. Marriage is the only institution that was created by God. Every other institution that we are seeing today is secondary. It's when men fail that we now begin to talk about institutions of primary education, secondary education, or tertiary education. If not, when God created man in the first place, he did not create any other institution. He only created marriage. God wanted us to live by revelation, not by education, because revelation is higher than education. But now, because man fell, we now have to succumb to the secondary, to what is secondary, and we now be looking for education, how we can measure up. The only institution that God created with is the knowledge of marriage, and marriage is what makes us to connect to the whole world. The first people that started this world, which were two, or after the destruction of the first world, the 8 people, which we call the new beginning. 8 is the number of the new beginning because it was the 8 people were the one that started the whole world, and we're up to over 7 billion, 8 billion today, starting from those 8 people. And the increase or the multiplication that we have today starts from marriage. So marriage is the basis of every connection. So the knowledge of marriage is very, very key. If you don't know the purpose of marriage, brothers, ladies, and gentlemen, you will not make a mark in this world. You will be frustrated. So many people are divorced because they don't have necessary knowledge of marriage. What are the purposes of marriage? As God will have it, the purposes of marriage are for procreation, for companionship, for sexual orderliness, for duplication of God's relationship, and for you to fulfill destinies. Once you don't know this thing about marriage, I am telling you, you'll be frustrated. So many people have gone into oblivion. So many people have gone into extinction today because of marriage. Marriage has turned them into another thing. Some have become womanizers. Some have become adulterers. Some have become alcoholics, drunkards, because they were frustrated out of marriage. Some have even gone to the point of killing themselves because they were jilted, because they were divorced and they didn't know what to do. It was out of so much pain, and they killed themselves in the process. So the knowledge of your marriage comes to make you stabilize. That is one of the things you need to handle very well in this world. That is the connection that you need. That marriage comes to establish you so that you can now begin to procreate and leave something behind. Those are the things we are talking about. So the knowledge of your marriage is very, very key. What other last M, which is the 14th M we are talking about now, is the knowledge of your management. Management is the judicial use, rational use of resources. In this management, we are talking about the major 4 things that constitutes management. We call them the 4 M's that makes up management. What are they? Minute, manpower, materials, and money. These are the things we talk about in management, the 4 M's. So you need to talk about minute. Minute means time. If you are in this world and you don't know how to manage time, I'm telling you, you will not go far, because time is life. Height is measured in centimeter, weight is measured in kilogram, life is measured by time. If you are wasting time, you are wasting life. That's what we're talking about. Anytime you see somebody wasting life, it doesn't take care of time. When they give you time, you do African time, you look at time, waste time anyhow, you are wasting life. Some people that sleep about 12 hours in a day, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., 12 hours. You are wasting life because you are wasting time. How can you be sleeping for 12 hours? Are you practicing to die? Those are the things we are talking about. Time must be appropriated. So the knowledge about your management of time is very, very key. A man that wants to move forward must be very careful about how he apportioned your time, what you need to do on a daily basis, your daily schedule, your weekly schedule, what you need to accomplish must be planned, because wastage of time is wastage of life. This is very, very key. That's what we're talking about. So if you want to know management, know about minute. What other things? Manpower, human resources. Everything in this world is coordinated by man. If you don't know how to manage men in this world, I'm telling you, you go chew kwakwa. You won't move forward. Many people have handled men so casually, and today they are paying for it. Everybody that works with you, the way you handle them is very, very important. If you are a manager, know how you handle your subordinates. If you are a director, know how you handle those people. So the management of people is what determines your next level. If you handle people well, because you can't do without people, you cannot be everywhere at every time. So you must need people for you to achieve. So how you manage them is very, very key. And this is where some people have died, because they mismanage people. Some mismanage their drivers, some mismanage their house help, some mismanage their secretaries, and in the process, the thing fell a boomerang on them. There are so many people that have been killed even because of poor management. So what are we talking about? That thing you are suffering is because you don't know how to handle human being. The knowledge about manpower, how people behave, knowledge about the psychology of men is very, very key. If not, you'll not be able to achieve. Knowledge about materials. Many of us don't know how to maintain things. Maintenance culture is one of the problems in the African countries, on the developed countries. They handle things anyhow. So maintenance of materials need to be handled well, need to be kept well. All those things that make up things that we need to do about materials. The knowledge about materials is very key. And lastly is the knowledge about money. About over 90% of our prayer requests is centered on money. So that knowledge is very important. Financial wisdom. The difference between the poor man and the rich man is information acquisition. A poor man, if money enters his hand, the first thing he's thinking about is expenditure. But a rich man, when money enters his hand, is talking about investment. How am I going to invest? Somebody said that the difference between an Asian and an African person is so wide, because money stays more than 7 times in the hand of an Asian man than an African man. Because if money enters an African man's hand, the next thing he's talking about is how to go and buy shoe. The things he saw in that shop that he wants to go and do. Some African people even borrow money to go and celebrate. Some people use money, buy car to go and show off in the village during Christmas and to come back empty. Remembering that anytime you buy a car, by the time you move it from the station, from the car selling point, before you move, as you are moving out, it has depreciated by 15 to 20%. So what are you going to show off? Many people, they think that their status is measured by car, by what they wear. No, your status is measured by what you carry. So what are we talking about? The knowledge about money, expenditure, and investment is very, very key. So these are what we talk about. These 14 M's. By the time you have this relevant knowledge, I'm telling you, you cannot remain the same again. What are the 14 M's again? Can I just enumerate them quickly as we go through them? Because these things are very, very key. Once you have relevant knowledge, in-depth knowledge of these 14 M's, you cannot fail. What are they? The knowledge of your maker, the knowledge of your mandate, the knowledge of your mantle, the knowledge of your mission, the knowledge of your message, the knowledge of your method, the knowledge of your motivation, the knowledge of your mentality, the knowledge of your masses, the knowledge of your market and your marketing strategies, the knowledge of your mentor, the knowledge of your ministry, the knowledge of your marriage, the knowledge of management, which comprises the 4 M's, the minute, the material, the manpower, and money. These are key issues you need to Find out about it. If you are knowledgeable in these areas, you cannot fail. As I round up, let me give you a story. A woman brought his child into a clinic for an immunization. And while he came for immunization, routine immunization, routine schedule for immunization, the child was sleeping. When the health worker has packaged the immunization, in his syringe, and has expelled the bubbles and wanted to give the injection to the child was sleeping. And he asked the mother, please wake up this child before I give this injection. The mother said, no, this child is sleeping. Just give the injection like this while he's sleeping. The health worker actually knows his onions, his onions. And so he said, no, this child, you must wake up this child before I give this injection. So in the process of argument, mother said, no. The health worker insisted that this child must be woken up before he gives his injection. Guess what happened? When they tried to wake up this child no longer woke up because the child has died since. What am I saying? What if the health worker went ahead to give the injection? The mother would have attributed the death of this child to the injection that the health worker gave. But because the health worker has relevant knowledge, has a specific knowledge, he knows his onions about what he's doing. That was what saved him from that calamity. What are we saying? Once you become a guru, once you become an expert in your in information in your area, you cannot fail. You reduce every disaster, every calamity, every adversity, every cataclysm, every catastrophe. That's what we're talking about. As you continue to listen to this program, the Daily Positive Living Principle program, your life cannot remain the same again. Make use of these 14 M's of information, and you will go to extreme, to anywhere in this world. You will go global. And I see you in your next level. I see you with testimonies. Stay tuned to this program, and the Lord God bless you. Keep on watching. Say